Welcome back, all my tech mixers. Today we're doing a quick New York Comic Con update video. I paid for a pass, and so I'm watching a couple of the panels, and so you'll be getting a couple little updates on the different panels that I end up watching throughout the week. Today's video is about the panel on the Legend of Vox Machina, but first, intro song.
Oh, he's technically Mexican and 3/4 American, but for 3 generations he's got that nationality. Great-great-grandpa headed south, whose kids had kids then turned around. It's not what the show's about, but it's why he's Mexican technically.
It helps that he was raised in New Mexico, lived in Guadalajara for 2 years, speaks fluent Spanish with a bachelor's degree in language, and makes taquito.
So, The Legend of Vox Machina. This panel was super interesting to watch. If you don't already know, there is a show called Critical Role that is a bunch of voice actors who are also nerds who get together and play Dungeons & Dragons together. And their first campaign centered around their group of characters. They called themselves Vox Machina. I never watched the show because by the time I'd heard of it, they were about 100 episodes deep. And I think when I looked it up, the grand total was 115 episodes of a minimum 3-hour session, sometimes up to 6, which I just don't have the time for. But I was introduced to the show just with YouTube randomly suggesting highlight clips from their series. I look at similarly nerdy content, and so even though I haven't watched the show, I have watched a lot of the highlight clips. And they are very entertaining. I will say, Critical Role, they're a very charismatic group, and the appeal, at least to me, and I assume to the people who watch religiously, is their natural friendship. They have a lot of rapport with each other, and there's a lot of really good improvising within their stories. They have their characters that they play, and they do a really good job. It also helps production value that they're all professional voice actors, and so the show sounds really good. And the highlight clips that I've watched are pretty hilarious. The characters seem very interesting, and the story seems like a lot of fun. It just looks like the show that is, it's the kind of show that you can tell they're not in it to get famous or make money. They're in it because it's something that they enjoy, and they just got super lucky in gaining a pretty big audience. So much so that has it been 2 years? A year or so back, they started a Kickstarter campaign to adapt the stories they told from their first D&D campaign into an animated series, which will be called The Legend of Vox Machina. It was a crowdfunded Kickstarter, and it ended up being the most funded crowdsourced film project of all time, which was crazy. I remember when it launched, I was following the Kickstarter campaign just because of how fascinating I found it. And the panel was really good. These people are really close and very passionate about the story that they ended up telling together. And I couldn't be more happy for the creators and for the fans who are going to be able to see these characters that they've grown to love in a new medium. And as an added bonus, it will be able to reach a much larger audience. I know that I am going to watch the show, which I'm excited about because it's a lot more digestible. And I'm looking forward to being able to, see what all the buzz was about. I might eventually go back and watch the whole series, but I can't see myself doing it anytime soon. I just have too many other commitments. I have to reread The Wheel of Time, for crying out loud. So I just don't see that happening anytime in my future. So I'm super excited for the animated TV show because that's definitely something I would be able to commit to. And it looks really good. Plus, you have the added bonus of you don't have to cast anyone. The people who did it originally are the voice actors for the characters that they're playing. And it's really great to see these success stories. I'm so excited for these people. I love it when stuff like this happens. And I feel like something of this magnitude really never has happened before. I think that maybe the closest thing that's slightly comparable is the film Serenity, which is the continuation of the show Firefly, which was horrendously canceled after one season, and fans campaigned to bring it back for a movie to tie up the storyline. It's got a similar feel to that in that the fans won something, but at the same time it's totally different. But it feels really good, and I just cannot say how happy I am for the people behind Critical Role. I think it's so cool, and seeing the panel has just made me more excited for it. The quality of the animation. Let's watch the intro to the show, which they dropped. They dropped it on YouTube after I paid for Comic-Con, but you can't see the whole panel, so I'm complaining a little bit. But here's the title sequence for the show. And I'll shut up. That animation just looks incredible. Just really well done, and you can tell that there's just a lot of love and care behind this project. It's exciting. Other things to talk about. What else is there to say about the show? All of the members of the original show are also all serving as executive producers on the show, so they have control over the stories that they're willing to tell. They are obviously working with other professionals in the field of animation and television storytelling, who are giving them advice. But it's great that the original creators do have the final say in creating something that's very dear to them. Also, I had no idea that the show was picked up by Amazon, which is great. That's a great distribution method. And now it sounds like this channel is just shilling for Amazon because I'm excited for the Wheel of Time and for this show. But so to counter that narrative, and it is true, I think that Amazon, out of all of the other streaming services, has the most potential right now to win the streaming game with the amount of properties they've acquired and the amount of money they're putting into it. So they have that advantage too. Their pockets are a lot deeper than Netflix and HBO and all of the other streaming services that are popping up. They're owned by Jeffrey Bezos, the richest boy in the world. So they have a lot more cash that they can burn, and I think that they have the potential to destroy other streaming services. But if they want to do that, you have got to fix your UI. Amazon Prime's video user interface is the worst. It is so hard to find the shows that you're looking for. It's so hard to find recommended show. The way they recommend shows is awful, and they don't separate which ones are free and which ones you have to buy. You've got to create. You got to step up your game there if you want to capitalize off of this, Jeffy. Take my word for it, Bezos. You got to improve your search functions and just make the streaming service a separate thing, and have maybe just a slot for things you've also purchased. But for as far as browsing and stuff, you gotta clean that crap up. I haven't met a single person who likes your UI. It's garbage, awful, and everyone hates it. So back to Vox Machina though. So cool. They did say in the panel they did show another scene from the show, which you can also find on YouTube. I won't watch here, and it it was really cool because they showed the cast and the screen side by side and had everyone actually sing their lines live. It was cute. And they said that the show will be adult oriented, which is a good call. It's not going to be for kids because they're catering to the audience that made them popular. And that's really all I can think of to say. I'm super excited for it, and I could not be happier for the people involved that they've achieved something just awesome and inspiring. It makes me want to keep creating and to create more things. And I think that this just really hit home personally for me because I do play D&D. I have a lot of miniatures and I enjoy the game quite a bit, and I, with my friend group, just finished about a year-long campaign that one of my friends was running, which was so much fun to be a part of, and ended just with a really, really beautiful story for the characters that we were portraying. It was a lot of fun. And so seeing this successful project that started as just dumb friends having fun and ended with an empire is really inspiring, and it's really great to see. So that's all for today's video. We'll see you later on in the week with more updates of panels that I watched over the weekend. Bye!